has literally never been a better time to restore a Miata. I want you to think about that thing you have wanted for a very long time. This video is that for me. I now own a Mazda Miata, and we will get to restoring that Miata in just a second. But first, I just want to lay out exactly how this video is going to work. This video is long. It's over an hour and a half in length. I don't think I intended it to be that long when I set out on this, I call it a journey, although that's really cliche, of doing a mini restoration on a car. Something I've never done before. But it's an hour and a half long. So, what I've done is I have chapterized every part of this video. And I've been very specific in the comments down below about each portion of the video. So this video is organized at like the macro level by days. Each day I targeted a specific part of the car, and then there's some other micro things I did within that. The timestamps in the description, in the comment section, those are all going to help guide you through the video. If you want to watch this start to end, you can do that, and I highly encourage you to do that. Now, I'm calling it a restoration because while this car did run and drive when I bought it, the actual condition of the car from a health standpoint was absolutely horrendous, and I think you will see that clear as day in this video. I think the word restoration is a bit vague, but it's really the only one I can think of to describe what I did. Now, I want to be abundantly clear about this next part. This is not a how-to video. This is not a tutorial, a follow-along guide on how to, say, change and install a new soft top on a Miata. That is not what this video is. This video is watching somebody go through the process of learning how to do that. And I feel like the entertainment in that is watching the frustration and then the subsequent relief of when I figure out how to do something. Now that that groundwork is all laid out, let's go back to the day this car was delivered. There it is. My very own 2001 Mazda Miata. Oof. Try not to get too emotional. I've waited many years for this moment. And I had to say no to myself many times before. But here it is. Amazing. All right, let's go see it. Can't believe I'm saying this, but that is my Miata. That is my 2001 NB Miata. A car I have been after for 4 years now, at least. And I'll just take a second to talk about it. What? Yeah. I bought an automatic Miata. Shame on me, right? No. 80,000 miles. And the frame rails look like that. I can't tell you how many Miatas I've gone to look at, whether it's an NA or an NB, and you go to see the car, and you look under the freaking front of the car, and those are gone. And I plan on riding in this car with both myself and my girlfriend, and I want to make sure it is as safe as you can possibly be in a convertible. Now, I compromised a little bit getting the automatic. I just didn't really picture myself buying one. I said, why would you ever buy an automatic Miata? That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is to have fun. That's it. The point is to have fun. And I'm not going to let a stupid stick shift get in the way between myself and my girlfriend having great memories in this car. Now, $5,000. That is not what I paid for this car. I paid $4,000 for it, which honestly leaves me plenty of room for doing all the things I have to do to the car. So it needs brakes, needs brake fluid. I have to either put a new top in or try my best to clean this top and then clean up the rust. First order of business is going to be cleaning this car. It stinks. It's got soft top issues as well, which is kind of a big price tag on it. But considering I was willing to spend up to $6,500 on any Miata that was in decent shape, this is all right. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what it looks like now. I'm going to get some B-roll. I'm just going to start cleaning this shit. It's going to take me a while. I'm going to put a freaking mask on, but we're going to get right down the brass tacks. I'm sure I'm going to find something. Yeah, here goes nothing. It's time to start cleaning and say goodbye to the car lot white marker. It's just the best of all worlds. It's got a decent interior. It's not as basic as the NA, and I'm not against that. It's just, you know, I plan on spending a lot of time in this car. I want it to be comfy. I want it to be fun. I want to not want to get out of it. But everything I read online, people seem to get a little sick of sitting in an NA. I mean, the NB just has so much more to offer to me anyway. I mean, this won't be my daily, at least I don't think. Definitely not anytime soon. I have a lot of work to do on it. But in terms of safety, this is also a big selling point for the ND for me. Or ND, I mean, sorry. I plan on having my girlfriend in this car, and I realized something when I was shopping for NAs. I realized, wait a minute, 1993 and back don't have a passenger airbag. And I realized I was compromising my girlfriend's safety for both aesthetic and a price tag. And I feel like that was a really good catch on my part, because I'll tell you what, having an improved sensor anyway, set of sensors in the front for a collision is important, obviously. But having the peace of mind that she's got one too, hey, at least we have a better chance if anything were to happen, God forbid. That's my freaking Miata, man. That's amazing. Headlights need to be restored. That soft top, I'm gonna try really hard to clean it, but if I can't clean it on my own, a new soft top is in order. Then we need tires. These are Falcon something or others, but good brand for Miata tires. The only issue is they're 10 years old. So I might keep those as rollers, but not for drivers. Just using turtle wax, the cheap shit. Because soap is soap. I don't really buy into it. It sounds like I don't shower. I don't really buy into all the marketing behind the really good soap products. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure like the Chemical Bros make a good product, but you know what? I'm not paying like $15 for a jug of soap that's that big. That just seems a little crazy to me. So I'm gonna try and avoid hitting the soft top with this stuff. In case you're wondering, yes, I do have 2 wands for this Harbor Freight pressure washer. It does not come with 2. The original pressure washer broke, and I just have the leftover parts, which is surprisingly convenient. I also think the camera's high enough up that it's not going to get blasted. If it does, you'll know first. I think this is going to clean up nice. I am noticing these mirrors are a bit faded. I didn't notice that. I feel like whenever you go to look at a car, you have an idea for the big things you want to look out for. There's always going to be some small thing you overlook. For me, it was those mirrors, the headlights being faded, and I'm almost positive there's going to be something in here. Some sort of gremlin, some sort of thing I missed, but did the best I could. Obviously, it's just still wet, no compound, no anything yet towards the rear of the car. This is just what we were working with before. And all the scuzz on there, all that junk. So we have more of a matte to gloss. That is the goal. I am so happy. But primarily, the paint. This is so within recovery. Like, we are golden on this. Nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty stuff. I'm gonna have to make sure these drains are clear and open too. Make sure all the trapped water can get out. And I can tell you right now, this car is trapping water. Bad. Like, very bad. But wow. I won't get too overzealous here. Let's get this rinsed off and move to the next. In case you're wondering how bad is bad, standing water. All right, you're about to see something very disgusting. More disgusting than the bird that took a shit right on my mirror that I washed yesterday. Oh my God, I smell it from here. I can smell that car from over here. It's that bad. Disgusting. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh, let's pick this up a little bit. Oh. Holy shit. That's toast. But that's completely toast. Yesterday, I didn't get this on video, although I should have. I wasn't really thinking. I had water about up to my middle knuckle on my finger here. And that water was black. So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem, but that soft top is the first thing we gotta get out of this car. I got great news, everybody. We've got ourselves a new battery. The day is saved. It's day 3, and a lot of the stuff I've been ordering is coming in, so that's pretty good. I have decided the first course of action is removing the soft top. I believe I already said that, but that is absolutely going to be the thing. It is the source of the smell in the car, and I've spent basically the first 2 days since I bought the car, this being day 3, watching videos on how to do the soft top, and I'm fairly confident I can get through it. It's just going to be one of those things that it's either going to be a 6 to 8 hour job, or it's going to be like 3 weekends kind of a job. I have not made up my mind on what that will be. But I think before I even get into this project, knowing the tools, more tools by the way, I have a better idea as to kind of tools I'll need to get through it. And I want to make sure my toolbox is organized for that, because it currently is not. There are torque wrenches laying around and chisels and ratchets and a candle that is extremely suspicious looking. I kind of forgot that was in there. Wheel bearings, never. Not even once. This is the respirator I had on yesterday, but I actually bought a full face Chernobyl-like respirator. I bought a hazmat suit because I'm genuinely terrified of mold, and I don't know what that's going to do to me. So I want to protect my little asthmatic lungs. All right, I just gotta get down into this. All right, so what's in the box? What's in the box? A hand riveter. I don't know how to use that yet. Oh, son, you will learn. Stubby screwdrivers. All this stuff from this bag cost me $50 at Harbor Freight. Unbelievably, I've made it this far without a 3/8" drive impact socket set. And that'll pair well with my 3/8 impact gun. Up until now, I've been using chrome sockets, and I know it's not like a 1/2" drive impact, but I just get weirded out by those because I don't want them to explode in my face. This is a right angle screwdriver. This will come in handy removing, I believe it's the brace over by where like the seatbelt tower is on these. One thing I should know about this soft top is I'm pretty sure I'm going to try and do this without removing the frame. I've seen contrarian views on that. I don't know if that was the right word. I've seen different views on how to do this job. Some say it's easier when you take the top out completely. Some say just leave it in. It's totally unnecessary. So, all right, one more thing. A 3/8" flexing ratchet. I don't have one of these. I have the 1/2" version, which I just had. Right? So I got the 1/2", but I needed this for smaller things. So that will be important. Some other things I brought down. Notepad. This is just for me. I will be sidetracked on a sidetrack on a sidetrack. Couple left turns, right turn, up and over, down unders, before I finally get to whatever it was I needed to do. Because I forget and move on pretty much instantly. But why did I pick this up? Why did I pick that up? I don't need that. I also have, perfect example. I wanted this, I grabbed this. I don't know why. I bought this iPad because it was $100, and honestly, $100 for a tablet is crazy. You'll probably see me referencing this because I will have the video up that I'm following along with, and whatever video I end up looking at, I'll make sure to share whoever that is. So there's a few options I can go with, ranging from $209 all the way up to $800. Oh God, that's like it's so much decision making to happen within there, because I have to decide on material. I can either go with vinyl or canvas. I have to decide on what type of window. Do I go with a plastic window, or do I go with a glass window with the rear defroster? What color do I want? Do I or do I not pre-install the rain rail? This is kind of getting to the crux of like why I have not ordered the top yet, is because I have to inspect that rain rail and see if it's destroyed. I am 99% sure it's toast because car's got water getting into it. And people fix it with like Gorilla Tape and they save $100, but like it's just gonna come down to how it looks. And I'm just not sure if I'm able to save that money yet. The other thing is people rivet the rain rail to the soft top. And then there's other people saying you don't need to do that. And that's great and all, but I could order a top from the factory with a riveted rain rail into the soft top, and it'll be like a nicer, cleaner finish, which to me, since this is a forever car, not a temporary car for me, seems like the wiser decision, because at that point, staking my investment a little bit better. I don't want to do the soft top again in 4 or 5 years. You know, I want to wait another 20 years before I do that. So all that is to say, I just don't know which one to get yet. So like any good project, there's side quests. Remove and clean carpets. Not sure about the cabin carpet. It really depends how bad it is and if I could tell water got on it. Although I'm 90% sure it has. Removing the seats, that's going to be kind of part of that. Disconnecting the battery, that's a part of that. Clean seats, maybe patch or re-upholster the driver's seat, which has a hole in it. Remove the soft top fabric. that's the big one, which I'm going to try and get started tonight. So while waiting on the new top, full interior detail. I'll pull a video of what that looks like now. Probably once the soft top's already been removed. The vinegar and hot water mix, that's for cleaning and disinfecting. Scrub sills, I gotta put that on there. And then we're gonna clean the drain plugs. So I had a moment of genius, and I'm just gonna take this table here, and I'm gonna put it over there. Welp, lugada. So this is mostly cleared out. Directly behind you is the workspace stuff. There's a toolbox there, a table to lay stuff there. I got the roof of my trunk, and I got the hood of the car. So that's pretty good for, I'd say, about 20 minutes of work. It's time to back the Miata in. I decided probably a good place to start would be the trunk, but I already found something gross.
Holy shit.
Oh, how disgusting. Ugh. I'm gonna need you to come with me. You may have noticed the cars outside. That mouse nest ran all the way down there. The entire length. The entire length. No amount of showering, hand washing will ever make me feel clean again. I'm realizing now that my prediction skills have improved dramatically since some of my last projects. I'm almost positive there's going to be something in here. That was expected but unexpected. To that extent, holy cow. Holy cow. I had a mask on the entire time, gloves, never touched anything with my hands. Didn't smell anything, I had masks on. But as soon as I saw how deep that was, I went full face mask, and you know what? This shit is worth its weight in gold. Okay, so it has been a few days since the mouse nest happened. It's been about 2 days. A spider has made a home between the headrests of the driver and passenger seat, and I just want to outline exactly what I plan on doing to really finish sanitizing the trunk. And I am so happy I started with the trunk, because that plate blocking the filler tube from the gas for the gas tank really hid that from me. I did not know that was there the entire time, so that sucks. There's the channel here on the right side and the channel here on the left side. This was the side right here. Oh, sorry, buddy. It's a spider. That whole channel there was where the mouse nest was. And in another video I saw, I believe that's like where like sound deadening material would be. There wasn't any on this side. There definitely wasn't any left on that side. So I don't know if they took from this side and went to that side or what, but those little assholes made a real mess out of this car. I purchased a Sierra top with the vinyl back window off of Amazon with the rain rail installed, because you know what? Given how badly this car had water ingress going on, I'm not even going to try and reuse it. I feel like I already know what it looks like. And even if it was in good condition, I don't want to run that risk again. I don't want to have any water issues a few months from now and then go back to thinking, what did I not do that would cause this to happen, you know? Make the problem solving easier. So much has to happen, and it's really hard to organize all these thoughts. But essentially, finish sanitizing the trunk out there. Put the trunk back together after I clean the carpets. So I'm going to clean the channels, clean the carpets, reinstall. Then, after that, prepare the car to have the top removed. Because the top I ordered isn't supposed to get here until the 29th of May, which is like 12 days from now. It's shipped and on the road from California now, and I'm in Connecticut, so 5 days roughly. It'll be here midweek is my estimation, and most people say it comes faster than they say it does. Other things I can do while we wait for the top is I went to the dollar store and I bought Armor All Ultra Shine Headlight Restoration wipes. Now, I've seen all the videos on how to properly restore headlights. It involves sanding to get the oxidation off. This seems like one of those too good to be true things, but for 11 bucks, might as well try it. The other thing I bought there was a Simonized auto fogger for the car. So what I'm going to do is, after I do my whole process, removing the carpeting, cleaning the carpeting, reinstalling the carpeting, reinstalling the top, trunk, everything, that still leaves the HVAC in the car, and that's what this is for. This stuff, it doesn't just make the car smell neutral. It actually kills things like bacteria. I have all the time in the world right now to do this, so there has literally never been a better time to restore a Miata. Now there's no UV protectant on this one. And now we're going over to this one. Now look at that. I mean, it pulls it right out. How much comes off? Certainly a lot better than what we were working with before. I mean, these are... Well, I mean, there's a light haze on this one. I would say that's a pretty desirable result overall. I mean, as long as it stays looking like that, I'm calling that a win. For 11 bucks in 10 minutes, yeah, that was pretty good. Is it as effective as sanding? I personally can't tell you because I haven't sanded headlights before, but I like that look. It looks good. I would absolutely say, though, you should wear a respirator or something when using that stuff, because that is it's not good on your lungs. As all things go, I get distracted. I ended up calling a local used tire shop to quote me tires, and $240 for 4 tires, mounted and balanced. That's like really good. He said it was a pair of Firestone, so I don't know if that's a good tire. But one of the other shops had it at $149 per tire. So I'm assuming those Firestones are either really cheap or older. All right, well, you know what they say. You could smell a Miata as far as the wind blows. At least this one. I've decided the best route for cleaning this sucker is steam. And I'm going to tell you why. When I started cleaning that trunk, I started using a mix of vinegar, water, and then I thought it would be a good idea to spray bleach in there. You don't do that. Don't do that. Long story short, it's dangerous, and it's just as bad as mixing bleach and ammonia, which is the one everybody knows about. I didn't know that vinegar would have the same effect. So, my bad on that. Lesson learned. So, why would I buy this? Why not just, stick with the bleach? Well, I'm going to be doing carpets, so I don't want to bleach the carpets. And I don't want to use vinegar again, because there's dry bleach residue in the trunk of this car. And if I start using vinegar to clean out these carpets, it's probably going to happen again. So anyways, I think the worst smelling part of this car, if I had to pinpoint it, it's probably this rear carpet. It's sandwiched between a really moldy top, and it's constantly wet. I think this carpet's actually toast. I don't think I'm going to be able to restore this, but I am going to use this steam cleaner I bought at Harbor Freight for like 40 bucks. So I'm going to do the whole process of changing over into more protective clothing and getting this sucker ready to go, and kind of creating an area I can actually work. I know what you're thinking. You look absolutely ridiculous. You're right. But I do not F with mold, mouse shit, Water stank. I don't fuck with it. So you can read horror story after horror story online about what happens when you don't wear the right protective shit around that. This stuff, even though it actually visually doesn't look that bad, I can assure you it smells bad. And then these carpet mats for both passenger and driver. So I'll do some before and afters of the interior right now, and then I'm thinking we're going to time lapse the whole spraying of the carpets. So the process, this is important. I almost forgot to tell you this. So it's going to be steam clean. Then we're using the Turtle Wax brush can thing. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. And then I'm going to hit it with steam again after that. The final process will be using a Spot-Bot carpet cleaner. That's like the whole thing where it circulates the water through, and you use shampoo, and that'll hopefully bring a nice scent to it. And then the coup de grace for these carpets and their stank era is going to be the car fogger. After all of this, after the new tops in, everything. I'm going to attempt to also steam the HVAC. Somebody online did that, and apparently it was really good. So I'll attempt to do that. If I'm not satisfied with the results, I'll up the game a little bit. But the fogger should get that eventually anyway. So now there's nothing to it but to do it. Everything's laid out in front of me. Just got to do it.
We immediately brought some color back to it. So the manual also says a 6-minute cool down before it's ready to open. And mine was more like 15, so do I actually care? Maybe a little bit, actually. Not ready yet.
So the steam cleaner is great. It's just not that great at actually pulling the dirt out. I trust it's sanitizing, but now that we're on to these smelly boys, I'm standing next to them, it just fucking reeks. But I'm gonna change my approach on these a little bit, and I'm gonna use a little bit less of the interior carpet product, and I'm gonna do more of the steam. Now, what I will do for these is, rather than flip-flop the order that I spray the cleaner and versus steam on, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Steam first, carpet clean after. I have some great news. The soft top is coming a week early. So even though one of these cans broke on me yesterday, I figured I'd give it a shot because I saw this one was exclusively for leather and fabric seats. Really just leather and fabric, but that was particularly interesting to me. So I figured it was worth giving it a shot. Now, I want to show you that driver's seat because I really feel like these seats are going to clean up really good. Oh yeah, look, the tailpipes already. No more white smoke. Not even up to temperature yet. Let's see. So yeah, it's dark leather. See all these marks on here? Kind of gross. So I'm going to try and clean that up. Actually decided I'm going to start on the passenger side because this is the side I actually started detailing a little bit. The door cards, a lot cleaner than they were just a few days ago. Still got to work on these vents. Still a little crusty, but the areas and crevices around the airbag look good. This mirror cleaned up real nice. Real nice. Yes, I look like a camera now. I anamorphed into a DJI Osmo. But I think I'm just going to start on this seat. And it's actually kind of cold out, so I'm actually going to throw on a sweatshirt.
Let me get you in close here and take a look at all this dirt. It's all real nasty. This will clean up though. The bolstering's got shit all over it. This will come out with effort.
All right, so the soft top arrives in 2 days. Yesterday, cleaned the living hell out of the car. It's looking a heck of a lot better. It smells pretty good, actually. Gonna try and not strip that, even though it really wants to. Well, early indications are that these want to strip immediately. I mean immediately. I mean, you hit them once with the screw gun or even the screwdriver, it wants to strip right out. But what I'm going to do is, for everything I pull off, something like this, I'm just going to tape these over where I got them. So help me remember where things go. Not my paint. My emerald like a paint. All right, well, the removal process has officially started. I'm masking up again because I'm going to be agitating all the mold on this top. Just a quick note on these. These are like the last things that hold your rear carpet down. They're typically right there on each side. I found the easiest way to actually get at that was by kind of hugging the car. I go in through the door with the screw gun and I look. Where's my arm? Hello. And I could see what I'm doing here. Trying to do that in the car to unscrew these with like a screwdriver, it's hard to maneuver. All right, first look at the rear lid, minus the carpet. You can see some of the sound deadening material is gone. It's actually sticking to where the fuel pump is. This is the carpet itself. This was sopping wet on both sides. Primarily because these drains are completely clogged. I mean, it's just backed up with sludge. I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna vacuum this out really quick and clean it as best I can. Yeah, I would say pretty dramatic improvement. The right is just one round of the carpet cleaner. The left is obviously without it. Ugh. The soft top is arriving tomorrow, Thursday, a whole week early. Actually, a whole 10 days early. Starting to break down the soft top now. So now I just got to start with the rain rail and take those 10mm nuts off of that. And then we'll get a real good look at what this rain rail looks like. Just to give you an idea as to why this is necessary. Ugh. All these seals are busted. The stitching is held up on most of the parts except for like here, it's starting to crack and show some signs. But other than that, it's just gotten real moldy. It's been letting water in, so it's a shame. Gonna be losing this glass. Getting in this car as somebody who is the size I am is not easy. 10mm nuts all the way around. It's like 14 of them. So we're just gonna zip these out with the impact. In each corner, I'll do that with the ratchet. That should come out now. Maybe the sides come first? Oh, I think the sides come first. That makes sense. Yeah. Now I gotta actually pull this off. Next up, header rail. Runs along the front of the top itself. It's got a few Phillips heads with plastic washers holding it in. This one doesn't have a washer. If that doesn't have a washer, this has been off before. This has one screw, that is two. Not sure why.
Only two of these had a washer, the rest, none.
Not sure why that is. This next part of me taking off the front seal here on this side and the opposite side. Just using a gallon jug here to prop that up. Even in that position, still stressing out that back window a lot. Hopefully no sudden changes in elevation to that window. So mine only has one screw, but I'm going to remove both this side and that side, and then beneath this is the metal rail as well. That will also be taken off. There's something inside there? What? What is in there? Just noting the orientation of this. This is the metal rail that goes beneath the weather strip. The larger lip faces the interior. As we continue to dig, more signs that somebody's been here. So this was some sort of aftermarket top. I mean, the quality of which actually feels really nice. I don't know if we're going to find a brand on here, but I'm very curious. All right, moving on to the B-pillar now. This is the one where at the bottom, I'm actually have to put this up a little bit so I can get at this. But we'll peel from the top, and then at the bottom, it's got two fasteners on the bottom that we'll have to pry out. There's also metal rails under these as well. This put up a surprising amount of fight. I had to really pull it to get it out of there. I thought I was going to break it, but oh, there goes the top. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, well, this side has three. That's nice. It's always a positive. So anyways, I'm going to unzip those, pop that out, and then we'll do the exact same on the other side.
I know it may seem crazy to have the mask on, but if I take this off, I smell it. It's that bad. Sorry if the audio is kind of shitty, but I don't like smelling that shit. It's awful. It smells terrible. Oh, I gotta write down how many are in there. Ah. Whoever did this before me, I think put down some sort of adhesive. Stick this felt along the back side. I don't know if it's, maybe it's supposed to be like that. It's like, I don't know, but hopefully these rivets match the size I have. All right, so got our fastener. We're going right in here. We're just popping them out one at a time. All right, so that is what I'm trying to pry on.
So there's one, and then two's in there.
Obviously, it needs to be cleaned up, but got it out. And there's that 90-degree hex that everybody complains about. And then that screws into this bracket right here, which traps the soft top there. That'll make more sense later.
All right, I just used the 90-degree ratcheting screwdriver from Harbor Freight. It's a $3 kit. Comes with a bunch of heads. This is a Phillips head size 2. You get down in the side here, and you take off the one screw that holds on the clip that grabs that corner of the soft top. And that clip looks like this. Once you have it in a bag, as you can see, it kind of goes, this is the correct orientation if it were on the car. And then, just so you get a better idea, this is what that looks like on this side. You see how screws in the middle, clip goes right around the edge of the soft top there, and just grabs it and holds it. Well, this is definitely going to be a part that's annoying to do later. It's kind of hard to do the passenger side. It fought me definitely way more than the driver's side. Alright, so there's a clip, another retainer right there for the soft top. You can see it all the way at the end there. That is what we have to unclip. Fasteners out both on the passenger side and driver's side. Gonna be using a 5/32 drill bit. There's 2 on this side. There will be 2 on the back side. Same thing on that side. But we're gonna do the front ones first. Wow, that one was already drilled out. That's kind of crazy. There you go. It's already out. Yeah, there we go. That rivet just got cut in a weird way. Alright, I think this side's free. Yes. Ha ha ha. You are free. Okay. Well, the top's definitely ripped now. I had to switch over to the iPhone because the Osmo died. This thing really fought like hell. Last thing I have to do now is loosen up the tension spring on each side. There's one there. One over here. And then we'll fish it back up through the top. And once that's out, the top's out. This is how it's all connected. Runs up. Goes through the hole here. Up through the top. And connects up there. We will not be disconnecting from that. Yay! One more to go. Alright, let's go. Alright, so to clean out the drain on both sides, I'm going to be using both a trombone cleaner. You get these on Amazon for about $10 and a big piece of brass that I just have laying around. So that's what normal people have laying around. I don't know why they sent me this one. That's not what I have. There's a rain rail. Alright, before I install, I'm just going to clean up some of the dirt and whatever's left over from the old top. Just get in there real quick with some sort of cleaning supplies and do something about that. Alright, so I just have the new top laid out on the car. Obviously, this is our rain rail here. And this also looks like where that rivet goes on the side right here. So I might have to get that off the old top. First impressions, yeah, I mean, it's not as good a quality as the original, of course, because the other one was canvas. But interestingly, they sent me 2 shades of tan. I don't know why they sent me this one. That's not what I have. There's nothing left in the box. First things first is going to be getting this on the car, and I'm either doing the wires first or I'm doing the riveting first, so that'll be a doozy. All right, so where we left off on the car. I just installed the tension cables that go up the side of the car, through the top, and out and to the top here. I actually am reusing my tension cables. They're fine. Give you a quick tip. For actually pushing the tension cable through the top, I found a wooden dowel that perfectly fit. Let me see if I can do this one-handed. Perfectly fit right behind where the spring down here snakes through into the top. So then I would basically ramrod this down like it was like a Civil War cannon, and I'd grab it down here. I'd grab the little eyelet and pull it through the top. So that's how I pulled that through the top there. Then when you get over to the corner here, it's actually really important to show. All right, this flap right here, you have to make sure you route the cable through it. And then the cable goes through that hole. So it goes through the flap, through the hole, down the side, right here. Extremely difficult to do one-handed. Now, I will admit, this is probably like the hardest part of the job to do with the frame on the car. I've said that way too early considering how many steps I have left, but I can't. I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to stop talking right now, and I'm just going to work. That's it. I'm done making statements. No more grandiose statements about level of difficulty. We got to knock some stuff out, so let's go. It's worth it. The other way around is way worse. I got to drill that out again. Top is really getting in my way. This seal goes up the car here and it pinches these two things together. I removed a fastener here, I believe. I popped this out so I can maneuver the seatbelt out this way to gain access to the 14 millimeter bolts in there. Yeah. I think that's it so far. Generally speaking, there has been a slight where's the there has been a slight increase in workload because the shortcut way I was trying wasn't working. Yeah. This is just a quick note on getting the B pillar retainer clips inserted. The first side for me went all right. I'm going to make adjustments to this based off what I just did on the other side, so I'm going to go show you that. So notice how this looks like it's sitting pretty decently. So that side went fine. On this other side, I could not get the material to properly stretch to the right position. And that's mainly because the holes that are pre-cut in the fabric were too small. So my hack for this, it's not a new idea, but it's just another way for you to think. Some people will use awls, which are basically just screwdrivers that just slide into things. There's no fucking tip on them to hold it in place. I used Allen keys or Allen wrenches. So what I did first is I stretched the material enough so I could stick the Allen keys down into the slots where the retainer clips go for the B-pillar weather strip. So once I had those lined up, I then turned these Allen keys this way, and I actually flipped this clip like this and slid it over both those holes, slid over the Allen keys, made the bend, and I went down. And then I slotted this as deep as I could get it, about as deep as I could get it, and then I started screwing that in. So not perfect, not ideal, but the only way I was able to get both these sides done. You have to enlarge, is that the word? You have to make the holes on these larger. You just have to do it. I took these Allen keys too, and I kind of did one of these in them. I'm kind of afraid to take this out, but I need to just let this sit for a minute and kind of take its new shape. And I still might need to even make those larger for those clips for the B-pillar. All the sides they're riveted down. I've got my contact cement curing on the corners here. And then we will be reinstalling the weather strips that go down the A and B pillar. And then, unbelievably, it's time to reinstall this on the car, which is, it's in a state. Yeah, this thing is there's a method to all the madness here, but this is insanity. Well, this side's weather seals are in. I'm buttoning up the driver's side now, and it's just funny, like the hacks you find that the previous owner or owners did. Like a hack for these weather seals to get more life out of them is to stuff them with material to kind of firm them up. And there's something, like, you're not going to be able to hear it, but there's something rolling around inside here. So I exacted that with an X-Acto knife, or excised that with an X-Acto knife. And I found like a piece of rolling tubing that somebody tried shoving in there. Just the stupid shit you find when you buy somebody else's or many people's project. Well, I started at 4 o'clock this morning with only these clip retainers partially in, and I got everything riveted together. Those retainers are in. Guides for the weather sealing were installed, and I gotta make an adjustment there, but for the most part, it is done and ready to go back on the car. Well, the floodgates are open on this. Just buttoning up this panel here, and then it's time to do the dreaded rain rail. Getting it secured and properly seated in the back of the car. And then we're good to go. I mean, this thing looks wicked nice. All right, the final battle's here. I got the first push pin started on the rain rail on each side. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get to, but there is a position to do it from. This thing is looking really good. This rain rail bracket is insane. The level of athleticism I've had to display. It's official. Mark the time. 3:23 p.m. The new soft top is officially in the Miata. Just to show you how much this material still has to stretch. Yeah, it's a lot. It's gonna spend many days out here in the sun. That's perfectly normal. That is expected. It has about 3 to 4 inches, which is what should be falling within. So this material just has to basically just learn to live with its new home. Getting a start on fluids today. I'm at least gonna just change the oil on this sucker. It looks like there's our oil filter right there. No date on it. No. I mean, they could have just put fresh oil in this thing. I don't really care. I'm just gonna do it anyway and have that peace of mind that I know what's in there. So yeah, I got the car jacked up, e-brakes pulled, chalked wheels, whole 9 yards, and yeah, just gotta get to it. Okay, so the oil cap's off and the dipstick is pulled just a little bit, help with airflow. Down beneath, I got a 7-quart catch pan for my oil. And then just above that, that is the drain plug. While I'm here, I'm getting a good look at all my other components. Sway bar, everything is nice and solid. So that's always encouraging. So after it drains off into that, I'm gonna put it in my Harbor Freight Pittsburgh waste container. You know, I last time I did this on my Subaru, that overflowed with oil immediately because the drain plug shot out into that. So that sucked. So I don't trust it. There we go. And Well, I mean, I got that off. Well, it was this guy. Whoever put that thing on there last time is a real asshole. That was really, really, really tight, and for no goddamn reason. But here's the old and here's the new filter. Gonna take some oil from that, lube up the O-ring, replace it on the car, and then install the new drain plug and get the new oil in there. All right, well, car is up on all 4 jack stands. One on each corner, and then I got the hydraulic supporting the diff, and I think I'll have enough clearance to capture the fluid and also add the new stuff without ruining my Pittsburgh jack. All this for a damn crush washer I could have gotten an hour ago when I was here. That's the fill and that's the drain. I believe they're 24 millimeters. I got my synthetic 75 W90 gear oil. Okay, the breaker bar was too big. I figured that might happen, but there we go. So I'm gonna get my drain under there, or my bucket. That should drip first. All right. Let's see. That's the fill plug. Let's see. Oh, it is dripping a little bit. That's perfect. All right, good. It's the old crush washer on the right. It's the new one on the left. These are Dorman M18 crush washers. Got it at O'Reilly's for $5. Came with 2. I don't think. Oh, look at that. Okay. The both of them have a washer on it. I didn't do as good of a job as I probably could have filming the changing of the diff fluid, but it's relatively straightforward. Now we're just gonna dump the excess in an old oil thing and button this up for the evening. I mean, the soft top is definitely stretching a lot. Like I might even be able to latch that. How about that? Might be able to get that latch today. That'd be cool. What the fuck? That should not have just happened. Just about everything I have to do on this car is done and or in the final stages. The soft top, as you can see, is partially latched. I finally got the latches into place thanks to this beautiful weather we've finally gotten. I just did an oil change and I just changed the differential fluid on this car. And we need to talk about that because something interesting happened. I did the oil change, fired the car up, everything's fine and dandy. Powered down, jacked it up on all 4 jack stands. Then I hit the differential fluid, drain, fill. Gotta check engine light after that. Really confused by that. I initially thought I must have damaged like an O2 sensor or something in the exhaust system when I jacked up the differential. Thought that was really strange, and I decided I was just gonna, with the car on jack stands, I was just gonna put it in drive and reverse and just make sure, you know, the wheels spun in the back. And they did, and that was great. And then I went to put the car in park, and I ground my way in the park. And I was immediately thinking, oh my God, I just grenaded the differential on this car or the transmission. Something just happened. Like there's no reason for that check engine light to be on other than that. Well, as it turns out, now that I've scanned the car, I actually know what I did. I got code P1518, which is for the boost sensor underneath the hood here. And that just so happens to be directly above where the oil filter is. So I presume that at some point during the oil change, I hit a vacuum line. I don't know if I accidentally disconnected it or damaged it, but yeah, now I'm dealing with that issue. And that's kind of crappy because, you know, I just did all this work and I managed to screw something up, which sucks, but it happens. All right. The Shakedown cruise. It has been This is such a surreal feeling for me. I don't know, man. This is just fantastic. This is a really good day. I mean, I could legally bring this thing out on the road right now. How wonderful. And I'm sure I'm going to find so many other things wrong with this car. But for now, I think step one is getting gas. It's at half a tank right now, and I want to make sure I can put a full tank in this thing and not have any issues. So off to the gas station. Ooh, new neighbor. All right, I can't film and drive. All right. So today has been eventful. I noticed after my initial drive of the Miata, I noticed that I knew there were some braking issues going on from before, but I decided I was definitely going to dive into that sooner rather than later, because I noticed kind of like the brake smelled hot, like something was constantly grinding back here. So I started diving in, and I had first initially said, I can tell it's the left rear caliper that's sticking. And as you can see, that is as far back as that caliper can go. I have the hex bolt out for these calipers. Sport suspension, sport brakes, by the way. I backed all that stuff out, and that's as far as that will go. And I said, you know what? How about I go to the other side of the car and just confirm that that should be going further. So I came over here, and sure enough, you can tell, obviously, this side backs out further than the other side. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if it should be going any further than that, because obviously it's not all the way in, but it's certainly farther than that side. So I'm going to look at some product photos online and just make some comparisons. But you might be looking at that and say, Hunter, why is the whole bracket off? And that is because when I looked at the brake pads on this side, check that out. Whoa! It's growing a vein. I said, whoa, stop the track. There's something going on here. I noticed this brake pad was missing its metal piece, by the way. This is supposed to be on the back of this pad to help prevent noise, and it's where you can apply grease when you first put the pad on. This wasn't there. So I said, if that has a groove in it, that rotor, that's the front, that is the rear. Look at that groove. I mean, that is half a millimeter, a millimeter deep. I mean, this thing is completely toasted. But I was curious. I'm like, why the heck did that happen? And then I found this plate fell out from behind there when I took everything off. And I looked at this, and it's also got this groove cut into it, which is curious, because that should be on the outside of the pad, like that, roughly. So at some point, this got taken off and like lodged. I couldn't even begin to tell you. I mean, I could tell you this though. That groove matches up like this. It's like a slot car. It fits in there so good. So I couldn't even tell you. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. It goes this way. It's like look at that. It's a perfect fit. So it was riding the inside like that. And then this pad would just crush into that as well, like this. So it was riding like this. I don't know how the hell that happened, but I can't answer that question. So now this has turned into a full rear brake job. Awesome. And just while I'm here, I'm taking a peek at everything else. Oh, that's actually, I'm just moving that with my hand. I don't know if it's supposed to move like that. I mean, I knew there would be a lot of things I have to address on this car, but it's like there's some few other things too. There's his tape over this the suspension link here. This side doesn't move nearly as much as the other side, so I mean I grab it with my hand, the whole thing is moving. So I got to figure out what those are and probably address that too. Hopefully I just have to monkey around with these links here, and that'll be good. And all that before I even made it up to the front of the car. So this is initially going to be just a left rear brake caliper and bleed all around, and I can't even get to bleeding the brakes yet because I got to put all new brakes on it. I mean, this thing is just, it's got a lot going on. Now we're starting to approach the upper end of my budget now. So I have a spreadsheet that has all of the expenses for this project lined out, line by line, and I was willing to spend like $6,500 on a Miata. I paid $4,000 for this. I'm just over $5,000 into it now, including registration, insurance, sales tax, all that junk. Probably at around like $5,500 right now. I now have to get about $360 worth of brakes. So, I mean, we're getting close to $6,000, and we haven't addressed the rust yet. So, or that boost sensor, because that check engine light came on. So, it's going to be a day by day with this thing. But every day there's progress, and we are inching closer to a better Miata. I'll leave it there. So I got everything boxed up, left rear, right rear. I'm gonna call it for today on this thing because there's nothing more I can do until I get parts. And in order to keep things within my budget, I got to wait for Rock Auto to get here. So I just found tape on the sway bar, and my first reaction is, oh, wonderful, that's going to be completely rotted. And I noticed the end links are pretty loose. Nope, not even close. The previous owner hid a key here. I can't make this up. I now have 3 keys for this car. That is an insane level of ingenuity. I don't even know why you would put it there, though. I guess you could reach it without lifting the car. That's crazy to me. I am feeling a certain type of rich today. Thank you very much. I own 3 keys for a car that seats 2 people. Yeah. Congratulations, you've won. Welcome to the end of the video, the conclusion, the soft close, if you will. I think people probably would like to know how much money this cost me. At the beginning of the video, if you remember, I told you this car cost me $4,000. Well, it's a little bit more than $4,000. So looking at this spreadsheet, I want to outline the cost types. So there's establishment costs, there's parts, and then there's whether they are required or if it's an optional purchase. So this kind of helps me keep honest with myself about everything. And granted, remember, we started at $4,000, so let's start at the line 1. That's the Miata, $4,000. I live in Connecticut, tax hell. Registration and sales tax, $435. Ouch. Insurance, I was delighted that my policy offered a very cheap second car option, especially for a classic car. $120 per year. Come on, that's like ridiculous. Now, important note about that insurance though, that's only liability. So if I, God forbid, wreck the car myself, and it's not somebody else's fault other than my own, I am fucked. Just to put that bluntly, I am F-worded. The tow. I tried going the AAA route and getting them to do it for free. Wouldn't do it. So I had to pay a tow company to tow it from an hour away from my house to my house. $250. That also sucked. That was a little bit more expensive than I anticipated. The tires. Ultimately, you know the story by now. I've told it a million times. I ended up going with those Continentals. $503. That number changed from $240 was what I initially had estimated. .3 brake fluid. Got that from Walmart for $10. I got the extra tall one. The soft top that I purchased from Sierra. For me, it cost $255. I decided I was going to use cash back that I had saved up on my credit card, and I'd use like my credit card on work trips. So it was kind of brought the price down a lot. I believe that should be like $305 or $312 for if you're not looking, if you don't have cash back as an option, which I doubt you do. Because you're poor. No, I'm kidding. That's fucked up. You will be poor if you decide to try to restore a car, as I have learned. Hazmat gear and tools for soft top removal. $100. Oh, that is correct, actually. See? I'm surprising myself with this. Because that should be removal. Yeah, these are like the ratchets. I should have been more specific here, but the ratchets, socket set, hazmat suit, full mask. That's, yes, so that is $100. That is split between Harbor Freight and Amazon. The hazmat stuff came from Amazon. Carpet and leather cleaner, $20. Those are those shake cans with the brushes on them. Those are Walmart. Carpet tab puller, Amazon, $6. I hated the one I was using, the one that's literally shaped like a screwdriver. Don't do that. Just use a fork. Do like what everybody else online says. Use a fork. Use literally anything else. Mine was so unuseful, and it broke every single one that I tried to pull out. So an additional cost actually for me is going to be new carpet tabs. A few other things. Headlight Restoration from AutoZone, $11. Car fogger, $6. I was disappointed with the car fogger. I would skip that step entirely next time, and I would go for just use the steam cleaner on the vents and clean out the blower motor, which is something I did and I did not document. That completely resolved the stinky HVAC in the car, by the way. Contact cement, that's a requirement. That's $10. That is for the soft top. Brake bleeder kit from Harbor Freight. With that, I would buy Super Lube. That's a Harbor Freight product. It's $9. And at least on my car, I needed to apply a hell of a lot of silicone grease, which is what this stuff is, to the threads of the brake bleeder on the calipers. Otherwise, I was getting too much air in the self-bleeding kit from Harbor Freight, and it was ineffective. Gloves. I bought Harbor Freight's nitrile gloves, $14.88. Damn expensive for gloves, but they were also very, very nice gloves. Rear pads and rotors, calipers, Rock Auto, $210. That number is actually incorrect. It should be $240. the process for getting those calipers, the core charge back from Rock Auto, was actually fairly straightforward. Took about a week. Goo Gone and Scrapers, $588. Another cashback thing I did. That's why it's $588 and not $20. That's because I'm in the process of removing the flags that are on the back of the car. So the rotor from Napa, that sucked. Rock Auto sent me the wrong rotor. Rotors for my sports suspension. So each one of those that I had bought was $10 each. I realized I could either wait another week and not have any car to drive, or I could run down the Napa and buy one rotor to replace the grooved one. So that was a whopping $74. That sucked, because it was of no fault of my own. It was literally a mislabeled product on Rock Auto, and it literally was not worth sending back. They were only worth $20, and it was $18 to ship them back. So why would I do that? Might as well just hang on to them. Valvoline synthetic diff fluid, Amazon, $15. Synthetic 10W30 oil, Amazon, $20. Oil filter, I went with the M1 108A from Mobile. That is a total lie. I went with the Denso filter instead. So I'll make an adjustment to that. That should really be $7. Rear sway bar links and bushings. I have not done that yet. I will wait on that one for now, because after reviewing them again, they're actually not that bad. Oh, there's the silicone grease. I got to put that down. That was $9. And that brings us to the bottom, where I just have some optional stuff. Touch-up paint, 3 cans of fluid film, drain pan, brake fluid, washers, all that bullshit, $16. Yeah, that's it. That's the list of everything I did, and just to give you an idea as to how much I spent. Thus far, I'm at $6,162. A bit more than $4,000 if you're good at the math. Do I think it was worth it? Yeah, that's worth it to me. As you know, I've been after one of these cars for so long. The market here in Connecticut, in New England, for these cars is rough, really rough. Like, I could have paid $6,100 for like a rust bucket NB that was a manual transmission and had probably like 130, 140,000 miles on it, and probably was modded out, probably had some crap on it. Like, the market is trash. So I feel like there's just so many less eyes on automatic Miatas, and I was able to get a better price on a car that will last longer, and is relatively rust free. Now, I do have the rocker panel rust, and there will be a part 2 to this where I take a more advanced approach to the restoration, but the problem is at this current moment I don't know how to weld, and it's also like the middle of summer, so that's definitely a winter project and not a summer project. And in addition to fixing the rust on the rockers, what I'd like to do is I'd like to descale all the control arms, because there's a lot of rust and scale on those. Not critical, but definitely there. So I want to descale that, then protect it as best as possible with like a fluid film or something of the lengths. Guys, that will do it. You're probably so sick of hearing me talk about these damn cars, but that is the Miata restoration. It's been quite a journey. There's so much more to go on this car. As always, there will constantly be something I have to do on it. But I am having so much fun in this car. It is just everything I wanted it to be, even though it's not a manual transmission, which is something I'm considering doing. I want to fix the rust first before I do that, because then it will truly feel like a good financial decision, if you could call it that. But I would say right now I am at about market price for this car. So it's not like I got ripped off, because I didn't get ripped off. It's just I got it caught up to where I think the market is on them, which that's a win. And I do think the value on these cars is going up. So while that's great, I don't plan on selling it. It's mine forever. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around for my video. Like, comment, subscribe. Would love to hear from you guys. Let me know how I did. And yeah, thanks for watching this video.